Welcome to Mr. Foy's Easel. On today's program, I'm going to be drawing some characters. Well, here's the list. A superhero, a boxer, a cowboy, a professor, a singer, a tourist, or we might call this someone on vacation, but that's too long, so I'll just put tourist. Batter, as in baseball, dribbler, you know what that is. And what I'm going to do is match each of these up with some kind of a critter, you know, animal cartoon. All right, sometimes, at least when I used to read comic books, the superhero was pictured in this activity. You guessed it, flying. Okay, if he's flying, his ears are going to be out like that, right? The super dog or whatever his title is. And just like Superman in the old comics, he's got his arms extended. And of course he is wearing a cape, which is kind of flowing, you know, as he moves in on some criminal characters, you know. So there's the superhero, super dog. These, of course, are speed lines. And so there we have it. Well, I've been thinking about what kind of animal I wanted to have boxing, and I decided on an elephant. Okay, here's my cartoon elephant. He's in the rings, not a circus ring, but a different kind. And he looks pretty determined to win this boxing match. Of course, he's big enough he could just frighten his opponent, or just go ahead and punch him like he's doing here. You know, an elephant has a trunk. If he's a boxer, he has trunks. Of course, one of the weird things about this is, in real life, an elephant's legs would be at least this thick. But anyhow, and of course, he wouldn't be wearing shoes. So here's an elephant taking a punch at somebody. Let's say it's a monkey, since they're both sort of jungle critters. This monkey didn't have a chance in a boxing match with an elephant. Monkey's tail coming out there. Now, you all know that if somebody gets hit or something else happens to him that creates pain, cartoonists frequently shows stars, you know, like he knows he's been hit with a with a left jab or something. So there's the boxing elephant. Most of my critters are going to be soloing, but I decided I'd put two of them in the ring, so to speak. Well, our next animal critter is going to be a cowboy. Well, let's say it's a frog as the cowboy. And I'll start like I usually do with cowboys, with an oversized cowboy hat. And there's the frog eyes. And he's a happy cowboy, so I'll put a smile on his face. And he's wearing a kerchief or a bandana. And his arms sticks out, and he's holding a rope like he's going to lasso something.
At the start of a new year, many of us think about changes we want to make in our lives, and we invite you to think about your energy use and take the Energy Smart Challenge. Set an energy saving goal and go online to pledge to reduce your energy usage and footprint. We can help with that with Energy Smart programs like free residential energy audits and 0% interest loans for energy improvements. Customers who pledge to take the Energy Smart Challenge and schedule a free energy audit will be registered for a drawing to win a $100 gift card to help with energy efficiency improvements around the house. Call 450-6000 or visit conwaycorp.com/EnergySmart to learn more. It's energy savings for you, powered by Conway Corp.
Okay, in cartoons, whether animated or otherwise, and also in old Western movies, a lot of the cowboys wore vests like this. And by the way, this frogs have little spots like that. And to make him look more froggy, well, why don't we put a little frog color on him? I'm not going to color all of our characters, but I kind of like to have green on my cartoon frogs. Okay, that's enough color for him right now. Let's look and see who else we've got. Oh, Professor. I thought, well, what kind of character would I want? And it occurred to me that an owl kind of looks like a bookish sort of a bird. So let's do an owl professor. In a lot of classrooms, college classrooms that I've known about, the professor used what's called a lectern. I don't know why you'd want to know that. I just wanted to see if I could spell it. A kind of a stand to put his notes on or rest his hands on, or in the case of this owl, his feathers. And you can kind of see the owl's tail behind. There's a table at the lectern. That's the lectern, and there's a table underneath. Anyway, let's look at this owlish character. He's got his so-called hands and arms on the lectern, and he's probably got some lecture notes. And let's see, owls look kind of like professors in a way, but especially if we put glasses on him like this one. So there's Professor Owl lecturing on some topic, and he's even wearing a bow tie right there. So there's the owl professor standing behind his lectern. A goose might make a pretty good singer. They make a lot of noise anyway. And I'm going to have this goose as if he's performing before a large audience, and so he's got his wide open goose mouth, and like in cartoons, somebody who's kind of carried away with what he's doing, his talent. And I don't know, this is an old-fashioned microphone, but anyway, when you have a cartoon character that's singing or playing an instrument, you probably use these little musical notes. And this one is also wearing a bow tie. I won't draw the rest of him, but anyway, he's what you might call a very melodious goose. Maybe I started saying maybe he's an opera, but that doesn't look right. Anyway, he's on the air if this microphone is turned on. Now the next one is a tourist or somebody on vacation, and I think I'm going to make him a duck, sort of kin to the rooster. Well, if he's having a good time and he's out, let's say he's along the beach, so maybe he's not a tourist in the strict sense, but he's on vacation anyway. Got a big old hat to kind of protect him from the sun. And he also, to protect him from the sun, he's got sunglasses and of course the duck beak. And what I'm thinking is he might be wearing what we might call a loud sport shirt. And if this is back in the old days, he might have a camera strapped around his neck. And he might be wearing Bermuda shorts that are about as loud as his shirt. And since he's down in the sand, why he likes to not try to put on shoes. It probably wouldn't fit over. And you can see he's down at the beach. These represent waves, and this represents sand down here. This hat's a big straw hat. It ought to keep the sun off of him pretty well. I'm going to take the time to indicate a little bit more clearly that he's down by the seaside. Paint some blue waves back there. Quickly, I'll show what I can of the rooster. Not room to show that little red thing on top of his head, but anyway, he's a determined player, hoping to knock one out of the park. Like a lot of my cartoon characters, he's got on clothes but no pants. So he's got an oversized cap. All right, well that does it for Mr. Foy's Easel this time. And I'd like for all of you who are watching and who are interested in doing cartoon work, that you use your imagination to put animal critters acting like human beings. So long.